I'm still flying under the radar, but I just torched Team USA for 19 and dropped 27-6-5 on Slovenia. So, how much longer can the rankings really ignore me? That's the mindset class of 2026 floor general Jordan Charles carried into every gym this summer. And if you watched even a quarter of his games, you already know the statement isn't bravado. It's a forecast. The 6-foot Canadian native, now starring at Bella Vista Prep, AZ, and running with Arizona Unity on the Nike EYBL circuit, has spent the last 3 months turning heads, popping scouting Twitter notifications, and forcing college coaches to reshuffle their point guard boards. But here's where it gets controversial. Most national recruiting services still list him as unranked. Yes, unranked. Meanwhile, high major assistants are texting him daily, and 3 different Power 6 programs have already asked for his transcripts. So, is the system broken, or is Charles simply the best-kept secret in the 2026 class? Let's unpack the whirlwind summer that flicked his recruitment from mild interest to full-court press. The FIBA coming out party. Picture this, a lakeside arena in Switzerland, NBA and Euro scouts shoulder to shoulder, and a 17-year-old Ard wearing Canada's red and black is dissecting defenses like a 10-year pro. At the FIBA U19 World Cup, Charles averaged 13.0 points, 4.9 assists, 11th best in the tournament, 2.3 rebounds, and just 1.8 turnovers. The raw numbers pop, but the context makes them jaw-dropping. In a quarterfinal nail-biter against a USA roster stacked with 5-star talent, Charles poured in 19 points and dished 5 dimes, often against the same defenders who will headline next year's McDonald's All-American game. 2 days later, he hung 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists on Slovenia, personally outscoring the entire Slovenian backcourt in the second half. Coaches weren't just watching, they were live tweeting. One ACC assistant told me, he changes speeds like a Ferrari in city traffic. Tap the brakes, then boom, he's gone. Another used a single word. Polished. EYBL. 15 minutes of fury. Back stateside, Charles traded the Maple Leaf for Arizona Unity's desert-themed jerseys and accepted a reserve role, an assignment that can bury a prospect's stats. Instead, he weaponized limited minutes. In 20 EYBL games, he averaged 8.1 points, 3.0 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and over a steal per contest, while shooting 41.9% from the floor and 34.5% from deep. Do the math. That's roughly a 20.8 assist per 40-minute pace, and he did it in bursts that often swung the momentum of entire games. Unity head coach Nicholas Davis summed it up best. Jordan's 3-level scoring and on-ball defense are obvious, but what separates him is the chip on his shoulder. He wants the smoke. Tell him the other point guard is a top 20 kid and he'll lock him up and then score on him the next play. The self-scout. Ask Charles to describe his own game and you'll get a surprisingly cerebral answer. Calm, controlled pace, he says, tapping his temple. I'm a shot creator first, but I see passing windows 2 beats early. Once I hit that extra gear, it's hard to stay in front of me. Translation. He's not just blowing by you, he's already reading the help defender's hips before he gets to the lane. Recruitment. The offer sheet. As of today, the scholarship list reads like a geography quiz. Arizona State, Long Island, Monmouth, Murray State, Old Dominion, South Florida, St. Bonaventure, Stonehill, and UC Santa Barbara. The interest column is even spicier. Stanford, Tennessee, and Texas have all requested recent film and scheduled Zoom calls. Quick takes from the prospect himself. Murray State, Coach Ryan Miller texts me every single morning. Good morning gifts, workout clips, the whole thing. It feels like family already. South Florida, Coach Hodgson basically said, we've got 3 Canadians in this class. Come make it 4. That's tempting, not gonna lie. St. Bonaventure. Yeah, Woj. Yes, that Woj has been in my ear. We text about life, not just basketball. Wild, right? Arizona State. Coach Hurley and assistant Yusuf Ali. Yusuf's Canadian too. Talk to me daily. The connection is real. The visit plan. Charles plans to hit the road as soon as the fall semester settles. His checklist is short but non-negotiable. Do I trust the head coach? Do we vibe beyond basketball? Can he develop me for the next level? He's in no rush to cut the list, predicting he'll probably trim it around mid-season or after my junior year ends. Translation, coaches, you've got roughly 6 months to wine and dine, except Jordan's more interested in pick-and-roll film sessions than fancy restaurants. The elephant in the room, rankings. Let's address the elephant. Most services still have Charles outside their top 150. Some scouts argue his lack of height, a generous 6 foot, and the fact that he's Canadian-born, meaning fewer stateside eyeballs in middle school, have kept him off the radar. Others whisper that the EYBL reserve rule artificially capped his counting stats. Charles hears the noise and shrugs. I just keep putting up numbers. Eventually, the rankings catch up, or they don't, and I'll still be hooping. And this is the part most people miss. The coaches offering him already trust their own eyes more than a list on a website. Your turn to weigh in. So, is Jordan Charles the most underrated point guard in 2026? Or are scouts right to wait on a ranking bump until he's a full-time starter on the EYBL circuit? Could a 6-foot guard without eye-popping vertical numbers actually be a top 50 talent? Drop your take below. Agree? Disagree? Or tag the service you think should move him up first. Let's argue it out. Either way, circle the name. The quiet kid from Scarborough. Just turn the volume all the way up. And the next 12 months could be a masterclass in why you should never trust a 0 stars label in July.